Hello everyone, this is Troy from Dashcam Owners Australia today, bringing you another dashcam review. Today is the first camera in a series of 3 that I'll be reviewing for Kaiser Baas. Today's camera will be the R30, which is their new top-of-the-range Wi-Fi GPS model. The R30 features 1296p recording at 30 frames per second. It also covers 1080p and 720p at 30 frames a second. It records in MPEG-4, it's a H.264 MOV file. The camera features a 125 degree wide angle lens, also has a G sensor, and as I mentioned is GPS and Wi-Fi enabled. What I'll show you now is what's included with this camera out of the box when you purchase it. And as you can see here, you get a good piece of kit. We have our power adapter, which is a twin USB output, so you can run your camera and still have your phone charger and anything necessary there. You've got your power lead, you've got your standard computer lead, your mount, a different option for the mount. You've got a few cable clips there for keeping the wiring tidy, plus the included software, your warranty card, your manual, and the camera itself. Time to take a look at the unit itself, and as you can see here, it's very nicely designed. Discrete colours used so it doesn't stand out in the dash of your car. Also very small. This is the smallest of the 3 Kaiser Baas cameras that I'm testing, and it's also got the most features, so very useful. As you can see here on the side, you have your micro SD card slot as well as your power and mini USB connection. On the back we have our 3 indicator lights for GPS Wi-Fi, also a button for taking still shots, a button for activating the Wi-Fi, and the center button as your emergency record. Along the bottom we just have a few basic warning labels as well as some ventilation for the camera. I'll show you a picture here of the camera with the included 3M double-sided tape mount. As you can see, it doesn't make the camera big at all. It's a very discreet item, and I'll show some photos of it installed in the car so you can see what I'm talking about. Now, as you can see from the driver's view there, all that's viewable of the camera is the top of the mount, so if you're after something discreet, this is definitely one to consider. Now, just a disclaimer that the footage I'm about to show you may not represent the original footage camera due to many reasons, including YouTube's uploading and the editing of the footage. Now, this footage I shot was in 1296p, but due to my editing software I can only export it in 1080p, so that's what you'll be watching it in. So here's the first of a few clips I will be showing you. This is just a typical situation, just nice lovely sunny weather in Sydney for a change. But as you can see, the camera's doing quite a nice job of it. It's picking up all of the sky. You can see like the sort of faint clouds that are in the background, but it's doing a very nice job on the detail, especially that nice 1296p quality. Now as I pull up to this set of lights, it's a good opportunity for you to have a look around and just notice some of the detail that the video is picking up, including a lot of the surrounding cars' license plates. It's quite clear on my end. Hopefully YouTube doesn't destroy the quality too much on this. Now that we've seen how this camera handles a bright sunny day, we'll give it a few other scenarios to see how it tests out. Now this next clip, nice early morning, overcast day, so it's just a bit different. You don't have that bright sun in the sky, but as you can see, the camera's still doing a very nice job. If you have a look around, you can clearly read details on the buildings, even those parking signs along the side of the road there, as well as the details on the vehicles in front and behind. Now that we've seen what this camera is like morning and midday, we'll move to some evening footage. Footage that we're going to now is just basically late evening. It's right on dusk. It's just about to get dark, just a country road basically. And as you can see, the camera's doing a quite nice job on the footage, even showing up that lovely sort of storm there in the background with the sunset. Now before I move on to some proper night footage, I'm going to shut my mouth for a few seconds and let you guys hear what the actual microphone on this camera picks up. He's saying a few words with the windows down and up, so you get an idea of what the camera is like.
Normal recording starts.
I'll just take the opportunity now to give you a demonstration of the microphone on this unit. I'm cruising along at 70k an hour, 5th gear, so I'd hope now that the audio is quite clear from this unit. From what I've heard so far, it does a very good job on the audio. This is with the windows up in this car. I'll lower one of the windows now just to see what it's like with a bit of wind noise. And that's the window down. There you go. And the moment you've been waiting for, some night footage. Here I am just going through South Nowra. Lots of sort of factories on the side of the road with some basic lighting on them. And then just spread street lights from here. As you can see, the camera does an alright job here. I can still make out details on the signage and items like that. Even still pulling shadows off my car going between the street lights. So it's still picking up finer detail, but you can probably tell that the footage has got a little bit grainy dealing with the nighttime conditions. Now in a minute I'm going to move to some other footage, which is an unlit highway at night. So that's pretty much your darkest scenario that you're going to have. And I'll move to that now. Alright, now I'm going to cover some of the included software that comes with this camera. I'll start with the phone app, which is suitable for both Android and Apple. I'm using it on my tablet just so it's a bit easier to read for you all. I've connected up the camera here, so here's the main menu. It has your 4 main sub-menus, including live streaming, the camera files, local files, and your settings. Here's what the live streaming looks like on my tablet. A few things to note: it won't live stream in 1296p, obviously due to the amount of data that it has to transfer. But when this camera records, it does create separate files as well. It creates your main file in whatever quality is selected, then a lesser quality phone, obviously designed for playback on mobile devices. So it won't have the full quality of the rest of the device, but it's still good if you want to view something quickly on your phone. Now here's a snapshot of what the main screen looks like when you are viewing the files on the camera. As you can see, it looks like there's duplicates there, and that's because there is. You have your main file, which is in 1296p, and that's about 400 megabytes. Then it's got the file of the same clip that's actually in about 240p, so it's viewable on your phone. I don't particularly watch clips on my phone, so I don't really have a use for them, so I'd like to see them potentially implement a setting that turns that off. It'd just save a bit more room on the memory card. This is the main screen in the settings menu. It has the app settings, the car DV settings, and the general settings. Now I'll show each of those submenus. Here's the main screen of the app settings menu. As you can see, we have our internet connection settings at the top. We have our social media settings. With this program you can upload footage directly to the social media network of your choice. Then down the bottom there's just some download settings. And as you can see here, we have the settings for the camera itself. We're able to turn the microphone on and off, set the volume control, the sensitivity for the G sensor, and also have the voice guide in the language of your choice. The options down the bottom there are different resolutions, which I mentioned earlier are 720p, 1080p and 1296p, all in 30 frames per second, and our recording durations, which are 3 minutes, 5 minutes and 10 minutes. Now 10 minutes isn't available in 1296p. Now finally, the general settings menu, which gives us our date and time, which can be synced via the GPS. We have our format to erase the card. We can reset the device to default settings, and device information, which is our firmware and current app version. Now here's the app version and current firmware run on the model I'm using, just for reference. Now I just quickly wanted to touch on the standard software that comes for your PC with this camera. I was actually quite impressed by the inbuilt software for this. It gives you all your details here, which aren't printed onto the video. They're only viewable through the supplied app, but it gives us our direction and the angle we're traveling in, our max speed through the certain clip, our current speed, also has our G sensor readings in the top right corner, and it will imprint on Google Maps where we have been. So I would quite like, in a future version of the firmware at some point if available, for an option to perhaps export the videos with that detail imprinted on them. I think it would be very nice, and certainly something I'd be interested in using when I'm uploading a video. Now I'll just quickly discuss a few of the finer points and points that I don't like about this camera. The likes for me when it comes to this particular camera is definitely the small size. It is really probably one of the smallest in the class, up there with the Mini 0803 and similar models. The 1296p quality, it's really good. It's good to see more cameras coming out with this. It's going to become a lot more common. As I just mentioned, I'm a big fan of the included software. It's very easy to use. I just wish it had that ability to export the video with the data on top. And finally, the price of this unit, retailing at about $270. This camera does have a lot of features for that price range. You pay a similar model in black view, you're probably going to be looking about $400, $370 for the similar item. And just quickly, it's only fair to mention a few things that I don't particularly like with this camera. There's no option to display the speed on the video. I spoke with Kaiser Baas about this, and they did say it was potentially going to be released in an updated firmware where you would be able to have this option. And also, I'd like an option to disable that secondary video file for the phone. For me, it's just taking up 40 megabytes on the card that I'm not really going to make use of. But that's it. Apart from that, it's a good little camera for the price, and I hope you enjoyed this review.